When WWE 2K25 came out, I didn't expect to change the franchise forever. I didn't think most of us did. We've been through enough with wrestling games to know the pattern. New package, new roster updates, a handful of improvements, a couple of new ideas, one or two new features that shake things up, they say. Enough that says, okay, this feels a little bit different. But here's the thing. Even with those expectations, WWE 2K25 still managed to surprise me in a way that I really didn't see coming. It wasn't a new mode, it wasn't the island, it wasn't some huge gameplay overhaul, it was the camera change system. And I know that might sound like a small move to some people, but if you actually sat with it and used it mid-match, it changes how the entire game feels. It changes how your experience with every move, every dive, every pin attempt, every entrance, and every celebration is. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was controlling the perspective of my match, not just the moves. WWE 2K25 does not innovate everywhere, but it was innovation here that actually mattered. It showed me that 2K can make a meaningful modern change when they choose to. It wasn't a gimmick, it wasn't a throwaway setting buried in a submenu. It was a real feature that was immediately elevating the way that I played. You could take an entrance and change it immediately as someone's coming down the ring, and that just made things feel different. When you combine all that with the presentation, the lighting, the particle effects, the arena reflections, the upgraded shadows, the new models, you get a game that visually blows away WWE 2K24 in a way that screenshots alone just don't show off. In motion, WWE 2K25 is the best looking WWE game ever made. But visuals and camera angles are only one part of a wrestling game. After the novelty of that wore off, I had to ask myself, alright, now what? So the first thing I did was I jumped into the island. This was the big new content hook for WWE 2K25, and honestly, I think I had fun. More fun than I expected. It felt like a modern evolution of WWE 2K20's originals, if you like that, but there was still some awkwardness and the feeling of, okay, this is kind of weird. The story was kind of entertaining, the boss fights had personality, the environments were cool, it had enough of off-the-wall flavor to hold my attention. And for me, the island was the mode I spent the most time in just because there was a lot to do in it. Not MyRise, not GM, not Universe mode, not even online. It was the island. And for better or worse, that's the mode that I dedicated my time to because it was new in this game. But here's the catch. Once I was done with it, it didn't pull me back in. It didn't become something I wanted to revisit. It didn't offer enough replay value to become a long-term hook. It was a fun one-time adventure for me. And that was really it. Then there's MyRise. Honestly, I haven't played it yet. And that's not a knock on the mode, it's just nothing about this year's pulled me towards it. This year, it just existed in the background for me, something I saw on the menu, but I really didn't want to get into. It was like, yeah, this takes a lot of time to play. Do I want to dedicate all that time to this mode? Not really right now. Up next is MyGM. I played it for a bit, and I think it's still a solid mode. The problem isn't that it's bad. It's that after a few sessions, the excitement tapered off for me. I'm not going to say it's a bad mode, but for me, it's not something that I wanted to dedicate a lot of time into. I just wasn't that interested into it, even though I thought that MyGM was something I was really looking forward to when they announced it coming back. I don't know what it was, but it just couldn't get me to go deep into that game mode. And then we get to Universe mode, a mode I have been waiting for many years to see get a true overhaul. Universe mode still feels stuck. It still feels outdated. It still plays with decade-old rules. And the new promo system, instead of fixing things, it feels strangely implemented. Not broken, just off. Like no voices, no text. It's just missing something that's fundamental. Universe mode has potential, and it could be the most replayable mode in the entire game, as a lot of people love it, but it never reaches that potential. It needs modern storytelling tools, modern booking logic, a more dynamic system to reflect what wrestling is in 2025. It just feels like Universe mode just isn't there, and they haven't taken the right steps to overhaul it. I don't know if that's because there's lots of systems in place from the old generation and they can't get it updated for modern days, but honestly, I think they should just overhaul the entire system. Then there's community creations, which is always reliable because of the community. It does its job. It's the same experience year after year. Not better, not worse, but you can go in, download some CAWs, and it just depends on how the community's making it. It's consistent. The community makes the content, we can play it. Another mode I actually spent time with this year was the Bloodline Dynasty, and I'm glad I did because I genuinely enjoyed it. Even though this year didn't come with the traditional showcase, shifting the focus on one of WWE's biggest storylines actually worked out better than I expected. The pacing was good, the match selection made sense, it was cool reliving moments that are fresh in everyone's minds, and also going back to stuff from decades ago. The presentation for the Bloodline content is strong too. The cutscenes look great, the commentary fits the tone, the matches have enough variety to keep you engaged from start to finish. It's not the most replayable mode in the world, but as a one-time experience, it delivers exactly what it needed to be. This is one of those game modes that I really do like because you can sit down, you could play it, you can beat it, and that makes you feel very satisfied. It's fun, well produced, and if you're a fan of Roman Reigns, Usos, Solo, or the entire Bloodline saga, it's absolutely worth playing through at least once. You know what you're getting, and you're going to get it with the Bloodline Dynasty. And online play. Online in WWE 2K25 is exactly what it's been for years. Hit or miss. When it works, it's fine. When it doesn't, it's really frustrating. There's lag, there's desyncs, there's weird animations, delayed inputs. Nothing game-breaking, but nothing modern or smooth. Also, let's talk about MyFaction. My feeling is pretty much the same as it's been the last few years. It's not a bad mode. It has some cool ideas, but I have to bring up what we're talking about. And that's the hang up for me, and that's microtransactions. Look, I get why they're there. Every sports game has some form of them now, but in WWE, it always felt like a little bit of out of place for what we're doing here. When I'm playing the wrestling game, I'm here for the matches, stories, modes. I didn't really care for the card packs or the premium currency. To be clear, you can play MyFaction without spending anything. You can grind, earn packs, unlock cards, make progress, all that, but the mode is still built around the idea you'll get more, you'll get it faster if you pay. And to me, that just puts a ceiling on how much I enjoy it. I don't like when it's a big part of the mode and it slows you down unless you open your wallet. It never crosses the line into being predatory, but the pressure is always there in the background. And because some things you unlock in MyFaction don't carry over to the rest of the game, it's hard to justify putting real money into it, or even treating it like a long-term mode. The microtransactions don't ruin the game, they don't make it unplayable, they just make MyFaction feel a little more like a side project than a major feature for me. For a game that already has great presentation, fun mode, solid gameplay, the microtransactions just don't fit for me. Just something the game could honestly do better without, but I understand because you do still need to make money off this game, so it's a double-edged sword. Then we have the DLC. I got all the DLC, but barely played any of it. Not because it was bad, the DLC was actually decent, but because WWE 2K25 never gave me a strong reason to come back and explore it. The DLC characters are cool, the arenas are fun, but none of them change anything about the core experience for me. None of them improve the longevity of the game. And that's the biggest theme here with WWE 2K25. It's good, but it never gives you a deep reason to stay. The most fun I had this year was simply playing the game with friends or experiencing the island for the first time, especially with the new camera angles and enhancing that experience. But for most of those moments as they pass, the long-term pull of the game just isn't there. Not because the game is bad, because it isn't. It's actually very good at what it does. It's because the series itself feels burned out. Not dead, burned out. Not broken, just safe. Very safe. And now the final DLC is out. It's officially the complete version of WWE 2K25. There's nothing else coming out, no big updates, no surprise feature. What you see is what you get. This is WWE 2K25. And I think it's time to wrap this one up and move on. If someone had asked me right now, should I go buy WWE 2K25, my honest answer would be, get it on sale, maybe Black Friday, get a good deal on this game. At a discount, the value makes a lot more sense. At full price, it's harder to justify when the game just doesn't keep you playing long term and the new game is right around the corner. And for the future, well, WWE 2K26 has a clear path forward for me. Fix universe mode, fix online, bring new creativity into the core modes, take the same level of love that went into the camera system and apply it everywhere else. Because the foundation is strong, the visuals are great, the presentation is the best that it's ever been for a WWE game. But we just need that next spark. That spark that WWE2K25 didn't fully deliver on. The game is good, it's enjoyable, it has its moments of greatness, but something about it just doesn't keep me coming back, and that's the truth. Let me know what you guys thought about WWE2K25. Did you play it longer than a couple months? Are you done with it right away? Did you go back to do the DLC? Or have you not thought about it in months? Let me know all of your thoughts. And as always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. We'll see you in another video.